Hi there, my name is Emily Wambui. You can call me Em, and this is Busy at Home. And it's Christmas! So today I'm going to be showing some simple snacks that you can make for your family for this holiday season. I don't want you to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, so these are very simple snacks. And the last recipe is very special because I've never made it before, but we're going to try it together. So if this backfires, we're in this together. So we're going to make some mandazi. We're also going to make some caramel popcorn, and all of these things are things that you can put away and snack away slowly with our families. And the last recipe that we're going to make is a cashew nut and raisin chocolate bar, and I'm really excited about that. So before we start with all the other recipes, let us start with the mandazis because that needs to rest for a little bit. Okay, let's go. I'm going to link the recipe down in the description box below. So if you want to print that recipe, you can do so. But I already have another video on the same, and I'm just going to put the link on the iCards above. Okay. So what we're going to need is some flour, sugar, baking powder, eggs, an egg, milk, vanilla extract, some margarine, and oil to fry the mandazis, and that's it. So come, let me show you what I'm doing. Okay? All right, so the first thing that we're going to need is 3 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. So now I have my recipe here. So we're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, I have a cup of sugar, quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Good. You can use, for spices, you can use you can use cinnamon or cardamom, but today I'm using some vanilla extract. And I'm going to add this to my milk. And this thing is conk. So conk. So recently, my husband traveled to Madagascar and he brought me some authentic vanilla extract. And so I'm going to use this a little bit. This is just like what? Like a quarter of a teaspoon, yeah. But if you're using vanilla essence, try and use like a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm just going to use this little bit. I'm going to add an egg. And then to my flour mixture over here, I'm going to add some margarine. For the life of me, I cannot find my scale, and that's what I use to measure because I don't like putting margarine in my cups. It's hard to get out and clean. So I'm going to eyeball it. We're going to assume that this is a half, no, wait. I'm going to assume that is a half a cup of margarine. All right. I think I'll add just a little bit more. I think that's that. I'm just going to mix this until it's very well mixed. Then when you have a fine crumb like this, you can now add your milk and egg, which I'm going to do right now. I'm not even going to mix them together, it's just fine. I probably should have warmed that milk, but here we are. My dough is still a bit dry, so I'm going to add just a bit of water just to make sure everything is well combined. We're going to cover this with a clean towel. Then we're going to make the popcorns. So the next thing that we're going to make is caramel popcorn, and that's as our mandazi is resting. And you just need a few ingredients for caramel popcorn. And I have a whole video showing you how to make caramel popcorn. So I'm just gonna do it, and then you can go and click the video right up here. So I'm just using regular popcorn here. Now, I'm just going to put this on the fire and we'll be ready to go. Oh yeah, and I'm just going to add a bit of oil too. Just a bit more. And some, like about a pinch or so, like 2 pinches of salt. If you like your caramel salted, you can add more salt, but I like to add my salt in the caramel as I'm making the caramel. So let's pop this popcorn. So now we already have our mandazi dough. We've made our caramel popcorn. And now what we're going to do is we are going to roll out our mandazi, and this should take about 10 to 15 minutes to roll out and fry these mandazis. My oil is already on the fire, so this is going to go really fast. Go! Well, now that we're done with the mandazi, we're done with the popcorn, and they are stored away, we are ready to make our chocolate bark. So for this chocolate bark, we're only using some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're only going to use 5 ingredients. And the main ingredient that I'm going to use today is our chocolate compound. So you can find this on sale in most supermarkets. Just make sure you get the milk compound and not the dark compound, or if you want the white chocolate, you can get the white compound, but just make sure the dark compound tends to be a little bit bitter. So if you have kids or even for yourself, it's not very pleasing to eat. I'm going to be using 250 grams of, so which is like half of this. And we're going to combine that with a sweet element, which is our cashew nuts. We're going to crush this, and our sweet element is the raisins. These are raisins, These are dry sultanas. I don't know the difference. And for the crunchy bit, I was just debating with my husband whether to add cookies, and I think they'll add a nice crunchy bit to the bark. So we're trying to balance the flavors. The thing with chocolate bark is that you can, and bark is B-A-R-K, is that you can add anything. You're just going to spread over chocolate and spread whatever, ingredients that you have, whether it's dried fruit or nuts or cookies or sweets or whatever it is. Just make it fun, and it's something that you can even do with your kids. Okay, so now let's make the bark. So the first thing that we're going to do is to melt our chocolate. And before we melt it, we're going to cut it into small pieces so that it melts a lot faster. Okay? Going to put hot water to melt the chocolate. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of oil to help with the consistency. And then now we're just going to wait for that to melt as we prepare the rest of our ingredients. So this is what I am using. You can use a plate or whatever you have. Then I'm going to put some parchment paper. Line the parchment paper. And now we just wait for our chocolate to melt. Then while the chocolate is still warm, we're going to add our, I think first we start with the raisin, with the sultanas or raisins, if that's what you have. Just going to spread them. And then as many as you want, as little as you want. Kitchen yako ni unapenda. Mimi I like lots of dried fruit, so I'm putting lots and lots and lots of them. In comes our nuts, and yes, we like a lot of nuts too. And just a bit of our biscuits for the crunch. Ah, no, we are here. So now we're going to put this in the fridge and let it chill so that you can remove it from its mold and cut it. Yeah. So now our chocolate pack has already cooled. And the cool thing, if you put your parchment paper at the bottom, it's just going to peel right off. Like so. That. And then, you know, you can just break it with your hands and that's fine. Ama, you can cut it with a knife. Whichever is comfortable for you, whichever you want to do. I think I'm going to try with the knife. That is so good. So the thing with caramel popcorn is that when you leave them out in open air or you don't store them in an airtight container, they start to absorb the moisture in the air and then they get soggy. and then they're not pleasant to eat. You want to eat a crunchy caramel popcorn. So the best way to store your caramel popcorn is to make sure that you place them in an airtight container. And that's a good thing with Tupperware containers, is that they are completely airtight. And so when you open up your Tupperware container, no matter how long these things have been sitting here, they will still be crunchy. And I've tried this before, so I'm telling you the truth. And just make sure that when you ukifunga, make sure you burp that container so that all the air comes out. I also have this other really beautiful Tupperware container. This is where I have all my mandazi. This will not last a day, you najua. But anyway, at least now we have mandazi, and that will keep them from drying out, because mandazis also tend to do that. When you keep them in open air, they're going to dry out. So make sure you put them in a airtight container, and Tupperware gives you that opportunity. So if you want to order any of these containers or to find solutions for your kitchen in Tupperware, just call the number down below. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. And if you've already subscribed, the best way that you can support our channel is by giving us a like. And if you've liked this content and you think somebody else would benefit from it as well, make sure that you click on the share button and share this with your friends and family. All right, peace.